PlayStation 3 hardware may be power personified, but it's how that power is used that matters. And staying true to its name, it's time to play. Stick around to look at the salient titles to ship day and date, as well as an exploration of why some of the multiple console titles will play beyond on the PS3. If that's not enough to get the saliva glands pumping, turn to the future with some of the biggest games in the industry on the horizon. Untold Legends Dark Kingdom puts you in the role of a warrior, mage, or scout, where steel, magic, and speed make both might and right. The tyrannical king must be stopped, as well as scores of undead monsters and massive bosses. Lifelike physics and cooperative online play using X-Fire round off this hack and slash. Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire offers access to an armada of giant robots duking it out across the galaxy. Allowing access to either faction, the Federation Army or the Xeon Mercenaries. Control isn't limited to just your own mech. You get to boss the whole squad around. With specific damage spots, even piloting a headless mech is an outcome. And don't forget the one thing that makes giant robots even cooler: giant robot laser swords. It's Ridge Racer 7. It's back, and it's gorgeous. With 40 cars and 20 tracks, there's tons of rubber and tar to cover. Factor in all the customization for double the raceways and find over 200,000 car combinations to mess around with. If the 160 race career mode starts to lose its appeal, just jump online with 13 of your closest friends and bitter rivals in an attempt to rev and drift onto the leaderboards. The tale of Genji reappears in Days of the Blade. Giant crab bosses aside, Genji promises a longer quest influenced by historical Japanese history set during the Genpei War, 3 years after the first game. Possess 4 playable characters that can be swapped on the fly, leading to interesting and critical damage-inducing combos to help take down the hundreds of enemies that drown the screen, begging you for their annihilation. NBA 07 brings its game and its beautiful 1080p graphics to the court. But that's not all. It's also running at a blazing 60 frames per second, and the 6-axis controller will let you fake, sidestep, or try out some spin moves. Resistance claims to be the fall of man, but it's also the #1 reason to get a PlayStation 3. Set in an alternative Earth, there's finally a worse menace than Nazis in 20th century Europe, the Chimera, but it's still up to the US of A to bail them out. The killer graphics build moody environments where bleak would be a happy word. The amazing weapons from the Ratchet & Clank team won't disappoint offline or online, where the brutality continues with up to 40 players. If you've been holding out for some titles being released elsewhere, hold on and take a look at the PlayStation 3 difference with the 6-axis controller. Call of Duty 3 offers the always popular Nazi fodder, but now you can smack the blitzkrieg out of a Jerry with a twirl of the controller. Armchair football enthusiasts may start breaking a sweat with Madden NFL 07. Shake off the defense with fake snaps and more with quick yanks back and forth.
At the 35. With the reception.
While Tony Hawk's Project 8 doesn't have an online mode for the PS3, it does feature its own 6-axis scheme. Gentle tilts will let you balance on a long grind and even steer around. Buttons still control tricks, but the sticks are replaced with tilts, jerks, and twists. Marvel Ultimate Alliance incorporates motion gestures for your souped-up alter egos to fight harder and farther. Boss battles and extreme power moves also exploit the power of the controller, offering better abilities and rhythmic challenges. NBA 2K7 has implemented free throws with a 6-axis controller, where the controller itself apes a basketball being thrown.
No good, and they don't get the three-point play.
You may find yourself in the penalty box more often in NHL 2K7, where a quick shake of the controller will let you check an opponent.
There's Anaheim on the rush. He carries it over the blue line. He scores!
While Sonic the Hedgehog makes no special use of the controller, expect the spiky blue speedball to blur onto the PS3 with all the relative gusto. Tiger Woods' PGA Tour 07 allows real analog spin after you hit the ball, where delicate tilts can be the difference between par and a bogey. If you've ever taken a turn poorly in Need for Speed Carbon, and you thought you needed just a little assist to get you through, try tilting the controller for a little more finesse. While these are enough to get the ball rolling, a look into the future already lets us gaze upon some of the biggest games over the next 5 years. Metal Gear Solid 4 will offer a moment of closure in video game history, as the saga of Snake comes to an end. But it's going to go out with a bang, with some of the best looking graphics ever seen this side of the Beyond. Remember those saliva glands? You may need to give them a break before looking at Final Fantasy XIII. It's going to take a while to get there, but from what we've seen so far, it's going to be worth the wait. Eye of Judgment breaks down the fourth wall and possibly the third dimension as well. How this card battle game will play is a mystery, but one worth looking into. Heavenly Sword is full of post-feminist charm, with a stoic woman warrior beating the crap out of dudes with her swords and chain whips. All signs point to a hot new game and property to watch, and exclusive to the PlayStation 3.